I'm Anthony Forrest, the president of Steel Cod, and I'm here with John Beresford, our VP of Sales, ready to discuss all things appliances. All right, John, I'm going to have an honest reaction to this here because I will say that I was a little surprised when I saw this topic come across our topic list here, which is dishwasher racking. Because it's generally not the leading feature you talk about with dishwashers. Lots of times just kind of sloppily, like you pull out the bottom rack, you pull out the top rack, you tap the ones that move, and you tap, you're like, look, it has a third rack, and then your racking conversation is over. And I always kind of felt like, well, that's enough. What else to talk about? But I think what you're saying here is actually more to racking than just like, well, treat it a little more. It actually might be more important to the customer, especially when they get home. Let's talk about racking.
100%. I mean, this is one of this industry, especially when you're trying to sell dishwashers, they're always looking for differentiators, and they're looking at, what's the noise difference between this and the cleaning performance between this and the drying performance between this. And a lot of times, especially in those middling price points, they all stack up pretty similarly. And so the one thing that I always leaned on as a true differentiator was racking, is because you can find it in any dishwasher comparison that's out there. They move differently. They store differently as a result of that, right? And to me, it was always important because to me, it always looked like we were skipping the only part of the dishwasher that the customer actually use, right? I mean, all of those other things that we talk about happen automatically, right? This is the only part that a customer deals with every single day. And we sit there just treating it, as you said, like a checkbox feature, right? We walk right past the only thing that the customer is truly going to interact with every day, right? Again, they don't control cleaning. They don't control drying. They don't control noise and decibel levels, right? Their job is to load it. That's it. And somehow the one thing that they touch every single day is the thing that gets the least amount of attention whenever we talk about dishwashers.
All right, so let's answer, why is that? Why is something that is this important getting glossed over so quickly?
Doesn't sound very impressive. For the same reason you looked at the topic and you're like, "Are you serious? This is what we're doing?" Because it doesn't sound impressive, right? They barely even talk about it on spec sheets anymore. It's definitely not a headline feature when they do. And let's be honest about the other part. It's not very easy to compare because you need to know what each and every one of these dishwashers are capable of when it comes to racking. So it does get reduced to exactly what you talked about before. Hey, this one moves. See how easy it glides, and this folds down, right? And then you just kind of move on. It's one of these things that's heavily reliant on on the salesperson, right? It doesn't sell itself. There's no number that's attached to it that's easy to point to. There's no badge, there's no quick comparisons. So it often gets rushed through. And then the second that you start rushing something like this, to me, you're losing the one thing that actually matters to the customer in their daily use.
So let's talk about why that actually is important, because people use dishwashers differently from person to person, usually from person to person within the same household. So how do we
Mhm.
explain this to salespeople so they can get their mind space right to present racking to the customer?
Yeah, and it is. You're right. It's person to person and it's load to load, right? Every single load that you give it is different. You have plates on one night and pots and pans in the next one because you entertained the night before, or glasses, container. All these random things can just pop up, and there isn't another appliance on the planet that works like that, right? This is the only one where the experience changes, or at least potentially conceivably changes every time that you use it. There's no such thing as a standard load. So every time it gets used, it's like putting together a different puzzle, and the rack system is what determines whether that puzzle is going to be super easy to put together or is it going to be massively frustrating.
So something fun about, and kind of a clue to salespeople how important this is that there were two different things that people would bring in the showroom: either a pizza box from their favorite pizza box and pick a fridge,
Yeah.
or a bag full of dishes or pots and pans, their own things. And that's almost kind of a clue on how important this is, because no one's bringing clothes in the store to check their laundry, but they are bringing
Right.
pots and pans and plates. So what should that clue in the salesperson do?
Just think about that, right? And like, listen, we all made the same face when we saw them kind of waddling in with their bags and saying, where are the dishwashers? We knew whoever was getting them was going to be in for it, right? But look, what does that tell you, right? It tells you that they don't trust dishwashers, right? That they've been dealing with this frustration forever and they don't trust the dishwasher, right? They've had bad racking for so long, or they have really good racking right now and they want to make sure that they don't make the next mistake, right? They assume that it's going to be a problem, right? They've dealt with it before, right? With either things not fitting or popping out or turning over and filling up with water, right? Things getting rearranged constantly, running multiple loads. So and instead of trusting the product, right? What they do is they bring all of their problem things with them, right? And what you have to understand from a salesperson is that that's not curiosity, right? That is just a walking ball of frustration that's walking through your door. They're not testing the dishwasher. They're really protecting themselves from repeating whatever mistake that they made in the past. And that's the moment that I think way too many salespeople out there waste, because then they go right into cleaning performance and drying and noise and all these things. And the person literally is in front of you is telling me, I don't care about any of those things. I care about these fitting the right way in a dishwasher. So you should be attacking racking right from the jump, And a lot of times you've seen it as much as I have, is that they don't. They go back into the standard way of selling these things instead of just really glomming on to that emotional part of the decision-making process with the customer.
All right, so exactly what should that look like? So again, we've gotten the clue. They're walked in with the dishes. How should that change the sales experience?
Yeah, I mean, to me, that is the entire conversation, right? That's it. I wouldn't go any further than that, because if you can solve for that, trust me, that customer is buying whatever you're selling at that point, right? That customer just walked in and they told you, this is what I struggle with, this bowl, this plate, whatever it happens to be, right? This is what I struggle with. This is what frustrates me. And this is what I need fixed. People spend a half hour trying to diagnose that thing and they just walked in with the answer, right? So what happens there? And I just mentioned it before. We kind of gloss over it, right? They handed you the problem and now you're not digging into the problem, right? I mean, the best part is that you don't have to guess about anything. But instead of solving it, there's a lot of people out there that just go right back into the features. And it's like, okay, well, I know they just handed me this gift, but I know that I have to talk about features and I have to talk about drying and I have to talk about noise. And it's a complete and total miss.
All right, so if the miss does happen, additionally, the salesperson you're talking about misses this softball over the middle of the plate. What does that feel like for the
Yeah.
customer?
Oh, yeah. No, it's awful. It's if we go into that a little bit more, right, is when you treat that kind of more as a walkthrough instead of a solution, right? Where you're going to say things like, oh, well, this folds down, this adjusts, and then just kind of move on, instead of proving, hey, here's how I'm going to fix this problem for you, is you're describing movement instead of proving out function, okay? And the customer doesn't care about anything folding down, okay? They care that their pans fit without having to rearrange everything else in there, right? And if you're not showing that, you didn't sell them anything, right? You showed them something can do something, but you didn't show how it actually solves for them. And that's where the frustration sets in for the customer, because they came in with the keys, right? And they said, fix this for me and I'm going to buy the thing. And by just saying this folds down and this folds down doesn't really prove out how it solves for their particular thing. So I've I've seen this happen so many times where customers bring, these dishes in and nobody grabs these dishes from them and shows them, hey, you could put this here, you can put it up here, you can put it up here. You see the versatility that this thing has. So now you're not locked into the back corner of the bottom rack anymore, right? Now you can put it in 3 or 4 different places. So you can see how the versatility really stacks up with this one than the one that we looked at before, right? Really get engaged and get involved in there. Never talk about cycles. Never talk about efficiency. Never talk about any of these things that don't matter in that particular moment. You solve for that, and they're going to take whatever comes with it at that point. They're not going to care about any of those other things. So that's really what happens, is that the frustration can really boil over for the customer because you're showing them a thing, but you're not really kind of solving for what they're in
Right.
there looking for, right? So that's really the big miss that I see more often than not, is they almost try to avoid it and kind of move past it than they do really kind of sink their teeth into it and show how one can be a better solution than another.
All right, so let's put it together for all customers. So not just the customers who bring their dishes in. And again, you said at the beginning,
Mhm.
dishwashers, pretty much most of them, already clean well, run quiet, they dry well, and
Yep.
that this is where the separator is, especially when they line up within the same brand, where this is kind of almost the biggest separator when you step up. So how should salespeople be thinking about this now?
Yeah, it's so important to point out, because when you think about this, within dishwashers, performance is really an expectation at this point. Okay. It's just performance. And that's all the things that you were just talking about. That's expected. The usability of the machine is what's going to be remembered here, right? Not performance. It's how easy it is to load, how adaptable it is, right? How often it works without just this nauseating process that I have to go through every night. That's what the customer is going to feel all the time. That is where, if you hone in on this, that is where the decisions are going to get made now. If you're an elite salesperson, you focus on the things that they haven't heard before, right? And that the things that are truly important. Again, the performance aspects of a dishwasher, it's an expectation. It has to clean. It has to dry. It has to be quiet while it's doing so. The usability is the thing that you should be using as a differentiator in every single one of your conversations at this point.
All right, John. So that said, kind of reframing this, how do you think this should be handled kind of moving forward?
I think from a really you have to lean into the usability, right? So stop describing the rack like we talked about earlier, right? Smooth glides, all this. Who cares? Like that stuff doesn't matter. Okay. Then you actually want to start using it in the showroom. Okay. Load it with them. Move things around, show how it adapts in certain situations. Now they're seeing it in use when they go home when you're not guiding them, right? And now they're going to remember back and they're going to say, oh, he said I could put this up here. And I remember how it fitted. Now this works, right? Now I can put this up here. I would have never thought to put it up here. But now, since these tine rolls fold down flat, now I can, and it fits comfortably. Now I can wash that big pot that I hate hand washing all the time, right? I mean, this is really, as a salesperson, where you can take control of the sale and really prove out the value of the machine that's in front of them, right? So, you're not asking or telling them that it fits anymore. You're really proving it out, right? What do you actually struggle to fit? Hey, bring that over there. Let's see it in action, right? And now you're loading it together. Don't rush through that process, right? I mean, don't explain usability while it's empty. Really lead into loading things up. Even if you don't have a showroom that does load up dishwashers, because that can get pricey. I mean, there's dishes hanging around there somewhere. There's Tupperware hanging around there somewhere. Grab it, fill it up, show them how these things fit when tine rows do adjust, shift back and forth, fold down flat, when racks do raise up and when they lower, place the items, adjust the rack, show how it works in real time. And then the key part in all of that is you want to narrate that fix while you're doing it, right? So now you say, see how you're not rearranging everything. Now this fits without having to take up that whole rack like the problem was before that you were having. Now you're not running a second load just for these couple of things that you couldn't fit before. As you're talking through that, it's going to click for them. So that's such an important piece. Is it's almost like taking credit for your work, right? Is just
Right.
as you walk through it, but it really does help hit that whole. I mean, again, those customers are absolute gifts because they're telling you their priorities through the door. So lean into that, put all of your effort into solving for those things, and the rest of it becomes easy.
We drop a new episode every day of the week, including weekends. Don't forget to rate and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.